Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, and it is time for Saturday with Stacy, YouTube number 179. And you have no idea just how close I'm really talking about Saturday with Stacy. It is Friday night at 10:30. And I am just now sitting down to tape this YouTube that you will be watching about 12 hours from now, less than 12 hours from now. Things may look a little different. I may look a little, I don't know, different. It's because I have a new camera. It was discovered that as much as I thought my camera was gonna pull through, since I got through YouTube number 178 with it, that we would be able to continue on. But alas, it said no more. It gave all it had to give, and we've had to go buy a new camera today. So here's my new camera. I haven't yet named it, and because I haven't quite developed my friendship with it, it's going to take a little time before my camera and I are on the same page. And actually, I think that's what I'm going to have you post. What should I name my camera? Because I always name, I had a name for my last camera. I'm not going to tell you, but but I need a name for her or him, because it really does become an extension of me because I'm in front of it and talking to it. So anyway, I have a new camera and I'm hoping that all goes well. I will have to tilt down a little differently because with a new camera came a new tripod. So just bear with me. Now today is the next release of Simply Defined Dies and Stamps, and it's called The Wind in the Woods. And this is a very personal collection to me, very much like the Be Inspired collection or the I Believe collection, because I'm not a designer per se. I don't go out and look at trends and see what's hot or what's coming or what's fashion forward or where the next creative something is going to come from. I pull from what's inside of me. So I don't look to see what's going to be popular 6 months from now and then create or design around that. I design around something that I feel, or a memory, or a moment, or a goal, or an aspiration, or a friendship, or a love. I create around that. And that's the only way I know how to. Very much like the things you create. You pull it out from someplace inside of you and it ends up on a card or a layout or a canvas or a mini album, and it's from you. So this next collection really is quite personal, and I think you're gonna like it. I'm very, very happy with it. I think that I have come up with a die that might not have ever been done before. I don't know. I've never seen it, and I've seen a lot of dies. So if you've seen one, well, I would love to know who it's by, but it doesn't. This isn't something you're going to see every day. I think that's for sure. And I'll get to all of that. There is a story with this, so if you are one of those peeps who likes to watch my hands but doesn't necessarily love my talking, this would be a good time to, well, you want to wait to see if you're a winner chicken dinner, but then you would probably want to fast forward through my story because I need to explain before I can show you what I've got in front of me. Now, for winner chicken dinner, how do you become a winner chicken dinner, and what is it? Well, at every YouTube, I announce 2 winners who have posted a comment on that YouTube, and the comment just has to be nice. I will approve it, and then you stand a chance of having your name drawn, and you win a prize. How wonderful is that? I have 2 winners from YouTube number 178, and that was the YouTube where we did the hot off the press clocks, so cute, and the Kaisercraft and DoCrafts calendars. Now, if you haven't watched YouTube 178, you might want to. The product and the techniques and what I'm showing you in that YouTube can be used all year round. Very affordable, really affordable, and very unique and personal and creative. So I can't take credit for all of it, but I think that if you want to give a gift, not a card, not a layout, not a mini album, but if you want to give a gift to somebody that is unique unto that person, watch YouTube number 178. Now for today, so today these people posted that I'm going to announce, they posted on YouTube 178, and now they've won a prize. And what did they win? Product from YouTube number 178. So if you hear your name, congratulations, you are our most current winner chicken dinner SMS peep. How do you claim your prize? Go to scrapbookingmadesimple.com and you'll see our logo. Right below our logo, you'll see a little link that says winner chicken dinner. That's what you click, and then it will give you all the directions on how to claim your prize. We ship prizes as time permits, so hang tight. It's free. You'll get it, but we have to ship our orders first, and we ship them as time permits, and Dale's doing her best to get everything done. So do you want to know if you are one of this week's winner chicken dinners? Because there are 2 of you. Okay, this is where I have to put my glasses on. So, and the reason why they're down on my nose is because I don't need them for distance. I only need them for reading, and they're 1.0s. So they're like the lowest you can get. But boy, they sure make a difference. Now I can't do anything without them. All right, so congratulations to Jenny Petro. Jenny Petro, congratulations. You are a winner chicken dinner, and you're going to win a collection of products from YouTube number 178. But you're not alone. Okay, are you ready? Because I want you to go, woo! I want you to stop everything and say, oh my gosh, she called my name, finally. I've only been posting for 4 years or 5. Well, I haven't been YouTubing for 5 years, I don't think. So if you are Wanda Yagla, Yagla, congratulations, Wanda. You too are a winner chicken dinner along with Jenny. And how do you claim your prize? Go to scrapbookingmadesimple.com, look for that winner chicken dinner link, and follow the directions. All right, you guys, I'm so excited for you. I think you're really going to enjoy what you get. And now, if you want to be a winner chicken dinner, you have to watch this YouTube and then post your comment. But to be able to post a comment, you have to have a YouTube user login, and you have to subscribe to the Scrapbooking Made Simple channel. Okay, that was easy peasy. Now, I'm going to start with the first die, but I'm going to tell you that this collection, I talk a lot about my family, and my mom's doing okay. Is she doing great? No, but she's doing okay. And in case you don't know, my mom was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer, and she's had a couple surgeries, and anyway, we decided to not go forward with certain treatment because of her dementia. So she's hanging in there, but thank you for asking. So far, so good. Good days, bad days, but anybody who knows, anybody who's had cancer understands good days and bad days. And then my dog Spencer is finally growing her hair back where they had to shave her to do the surgery. So she's a little chilly, but she's doing okay too. Thank you. Now, for this collection, as I said, I usually talk a lot about my family, but I've never really talked about Michael's family. And Michael's my husband, 21 years. I've known him since I was 13 years old, and at 14 years old, I told him he was going to marry me one day. Now, he was 17 at the time. We were freshmen. I was a freshman in high school, and he was a senior in high school, and we lived down the street from each other. And so he, whether he liked it or not, would drive me to school every day, because once I figured out I didn't have to take the school bus, oh, I was right on that. It was like, okay, yay, I get to be driven to school every day. So he lived down the street from me, and while we didn't date per se, because of course then I was a freshman. I was 13 when I started, and then I turned 14. He was 17 and then 18, and so, but we did develop a very, very strong friendship. And I did tell him at 14 that you're gonna marry me someday. And he would pat my head like, okay, little girl. But I was right. And every now and then I'll remind him of how right I was. But it took him a while to come to that. And in between, he had girlfriends and I had boyfriends, but we always stayed the best of friends, always. He could always find me. I remember when it was time for my senior winter formal. Now, he had been out of school for quite some time. He called to see if I had a date, and if I didn't, would I want him to take me. And so it's been almost my whole life. I'm 48 now, and I've known him since I was 13. So anyway, when it finally came time where we were in our early 20s and he got the picture, the light bulb went off. It's like, oh yeah, maybe she really is the one. It's like, I told you so. But when he finally had that moment of, oh, maybe she is the one, he took me up to meet his mom and dad. And they had lived down here when he was in high school, but they had moved up to Northern California. Sacramento, outside of Sacramento. I can't remember the city now, but it was right outside of Sacramento, not too far outside of Sacramento. Anyway, we went up there through Manteca because that's where his sister lives. So I had only met his parents a couple times because, of course, I wasn't his girlfriend growing up, but I would go over to his house. He had a pool table, and I would see Mr. and Mrs. Park every now and then. I will remember the one time we were coming home from the high school football game. Michael was bringing me home. He was giving me a ride home so my mom and dad didn't have to come get me because he lived down the street. And he stopped at the Arco gas station and put gas in his car, but then his car wouldn't start. This was the first time I really remember ever meeting Michael's dad. So we had to call. He called from the payphone and his dad showed up, and Michael had a root beer brown Vega. That was the car he had back then, a Vega, and it wouldn't start. So we hopped in his dad's car, which was this yellow something or other, this big yellow car. And it was like, hello, Mr. Park. Thank you, Mr. Park. Oh my gosh, I was so nervous. I don't remember ever being in a car with a boy's father. So, and thankfully we only lived down the street. It wasn't too far of a drive, but that was the first time I ever really remember meeting Jim. And Jim is Michael's dad. And when I sat down to put the next collection together, a memory came back of Jim and the first time Michael took me up to meet them up in I can't remember the name of the city. Oak something, I think. But it's going to come to me and then I'll spit it out and it'll come to me if I don't think about it. So the first time we went up, I was in my early 20s, about 22, and he was taking me up to meet the family. And we went up for a few days, and ultimately we went up to the Santa Cruz Mountains, which is where Michael's brother lives, Bob. And the Santa Cruz Mountains, I had never been there before, and there's a park, Big Basin, and it's full of the most beautiful redwoods. The most beautiful redwoods you've ever seen. The trees are so round, you can't wrap your arms around them, and they are so tall that the sky gets blocked out. They're the most magnificent things, and they smell so good. And Jim, Michael's dad, and Joanne, his mom, and Michael and I took a walk out at Big Basin. And again, I had never seen anything like that. We were always going up the coast, and I would see big trees, but we never walked through like Big Basin, like a big place like that. It was magnificent. And they had this outdoor theater and amphitheater, and it was all done with the trees. It was just beautiful, stunning. So this memory came back because shortly after that, his dad passed away. And his dad was, I think, 54, which is unbelievably young to pass away. Unexpected, and it was just horrible. So when I sat down to design, because I have to feel something, I just kind of sit there and be, and then something will come over me, and this is what came over me, was the memory of Michael's dad and his mom, who has also now passed away, walking through Big Basin for the first time that I had ever met them. And so I designed this line around that. And just like I design all my lines, they're personal to me. It's not based off of what I think the most current fad is or the most current trend is. It's about what I feel. And I hope you feel it too. So the first die I'm going to show you is actually the contour die. And I don't think this die has ever been done. It's a script die. It's a very unique script die, and I'm going to show you the 3 ways of using it. But I think what was most important to me, and again, there it is. It's a script die, so you can see it's got the words in it. I know that there's script stamps, and I know that there's script embossing folders, but I don't know that there's ever been a script die. And then you never know what those script embossing folders say, or what those script stamps say. Is it just a jumbled word? Sometimes they're in French, and I don't speak French, and sometimes you can kind of figure out what they say, if they say anything, or are they just random words that looked pretty. Well, when I did this, I sat down and I wrote down my memory. And my memory is what is written on the die. So I sat down and I wrote down my memory. And we took my writings and we translated them into the contour die for this month. The collection is The Wind in the Woods. And I want to read you what that die says. So I wrote it down. I hope not to get teary. If I do, you'll just excuse me. But as so many people have said, I'm just tender-hearted. I cry really easily. So, and again, if this is not for you, just pass on through. Go, when you see me tilt on down, then you know I'm working with the dies. But this is my memory of that trip so long ago when I only had a brief moment to really get to know Jim Park, who was an amazing dad. And how do I know he was an amazing dad? Because my husband is an amazing dad. That's how I know. Even though I didn't get all the time I wanted and he didn't meet his grandkids, one whom's named after him, he had to have been an amazing dad because my husband is the best. The best dad, truly. I think he's a better dad than I might be a mom, but shh, I didn't say that. Anyway, this is what I wrote, and this is what is on the die. The drive was long, and the narrow road wound through the mountains. The trees seemed to reach the heavens, and the air was so fresh that I could have stayed in those mountains forever. We walked down a trail of tall trees, and the breeze kept us company while we got to know each other. I carry his memory with me, how he's now part of the wind, and when the cool air brushes against my face, I'm reminded of him. And that's what the die says. So if you buy this die and you ever want to know what it is that die actually says, that's what it says. And I sat down and I wrote it, and then we made the die. So I remember when we first went up to meet him, I was so nervous. He liked butter rum lifesavers. So I thought, okay, I want to make a really good impression. I want them to like me. And so instead of buying him one roll of the butter rum lifesavers, you know how they have the little box in the grocery store and you're supposed to take the roll out and there's like 24? I bought the whole box. Because I really wanted him to like me. So hopefully he's looking down. He didn't get to see us get married, and he didn't get to meet his grandkids. Like I said, my eldest son, James Robert Park, is named after Michael's dad. And then my second son is named Junior after Michael. That way we didn't have any therapy. Both kids named after family. And my mother-in-law was the most amazing woman ever. And I was lucky to have been her daughter-in-law. And she's no longer with us either. But anyway, I'm going to tilt on down and we're going to get started for today. And hopefully The Wind in the Woods will mean something to you when you see it. You'll find something that resonates with you, that reminds you or takes you back or makes you look forward to, because that's what this collection does for me. All right, down we go. I got to tilt in a new way. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to get used to this. All right. So downstairs, this is the make and take that they're working on right now. And this is a card from The Wind in the Woods. The trees are part of the I Want It All collection. And in fact, this tree was in the middle. We've got cars, it's just darling. But before I start with this, before I show you a little bit about this, I am going to start with the die. And you know what I have? I think I'm gonna start here. So, here's a picture of Michael and his dad. That's Jim, that's Michael. There's the car seat. It just kind of hung over. But this is one of my most favorite pictures ever. And you can see, first off, my son James looks just like Michael. It's crazy. But is that not the most perfect picture ever? So, that's Michael's dad, and that's my husband Michael. Then, here are some of the pictures now. Mind you, this is when cameras still had film and had to be developed. So I don't have a lot of pictures of Big Basin, but I do have some. And here is Michael on that trip. Isn't he a cutie patootie? And here he is by the cabin. Cutie patootie. And then it wouldn't be fair to show him if I didn't show a picture of me from that trip. Don't comment on the hair. Okay, this was 23, 4 years ago, whatever it is. So, but there I am. And again, just the most perfect picture ever of Michael and his dad. Okay, so we're gonna work with the contour die, and the contour die is sold separately. It's not part of the I Want It All collection. It's $15.99, but I wanna show you how to use it. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut the die. So I'm gonna bring over my Big Shot machine. And I have got my original size multi-purpose platform, the standard size. Sizzix has brought this back. We have it exclusively. If you only have the large platform, that's fine. If you've got the long one or the short one, everything I show you today is going to be exactly the same. But if you like the short one, we do have it exclusive right now. And the reason why I like the short one and why I wanted them to bring it back so much is because like 90% of our dies actually fit the shorter platform, and it's not nearly as cumbersome as that long one. If you only have the long one and you're happy with it, don't worry, you're gonna be able to do everything I do exactly the same way, just on the longer platform. Now, I am using a precision base plate with this die. This is a very intricate die. Now, a precision base plate is a metal platform, and that lets all of those intricate dies that you have kind of get right down in there and make a good cut. The most important thing to know about the precision base plate is that if you can read the directions, and the directions are facing you when you send it through your machine, you're doing it wrong. I need you to flip it around. You need to see that metal. That metal has to be facing you. Now we're cutting a wafer thin die. See, it's wafer thin. That's what it's called, a wafer die. So on our multi-purpose platform, regardless if it's the original size or the long size, you're going to keep that platform completely closed. And then I'm going to put on my precision base plate, and that's going to act like my bottom cutting plate. Then I'm going to take my paper, which I had not prepared yet, so probably should do that. I'm going to take my paper. And let me just cut off a hunk. I would probably use a trimmer if I were you. My cuts are not squared by any stretch of the imagination, but it will get the job done. I'm a little short, but that's okay. So I'm going to put my paper down. I'm going to put my die down. I'm going to use my do not cut plate that's kind of been embossed a little bit, and it's been embossed because of the pressure that the roller is going to put onto the die to make sure that it cuts every little piece out. And I'm going to send it on through. Now, you may hear a few creaks and cracks, and that's okay. Not too bad. And then when I get it through the other side, because it's intricate, I'm gonna rotate. Just rotate it. So I started this way, now I'm rotating this way, and I'm gonna send it back through. And that's gonna allow the rollers that are in the machine to hit that die in a completely different way, so that if it didn't cut on the first pass, it's going to cut on the second pass. All right. My die's a little short, but that's okay. So I'm gonna pull it off. And all of those words are going to come out. And it's going to make a perfect background for anything. For wedding, for sympathy, for birthday, for love, for anything. It's just a basic all-purpose background. And yes, many of you have it in a stamp or in an embossing folder, but now you've got it as a die. And this die is going to do more than just this. So I've popped out most of the words. And I'm not going to keep any of this. I'm going to get rid of some of the words that are left in there. And you can tell which way it goes. And I've got a beautiful background, ready to decorate any way you want. But you've got a generic all-purpose background that you, like I said, you can use for sympathy, you can use for birthday, you can use for wedding, you can use for anniversary, you can use for thank you. It's just a perfect shabby chic background. Whatever you, on your layouts, on your mixed media, because it is that scripty look. But I'm not done with it. I want to do more. So I'm going to take the die, and this time, as opposed to cutting it a little bit small, I'm going to cut it a little bit larger than what I need. So this time, I'm going to have the paper extend out past the die. Okay, so now you can see my paper actually acts as a mat to the die. I'm going to bring my machine back over. Again, I'm using my original multi-purpose platform, which you can only find here at SMS. I'm using my precision base plate by Sizzix. I am putting my paper down and my die, and my paper is slightly larger than my die. And I'm going to put on my do not cut, my do not cut plate. It's always nice to have one of your cut plates as a do not cut plate that you try not to cut into. It keeps everything, when you send it through, it stays nice, it stays flat, it's not warped. So I'm going to send it through. You heard a couple creaks and cracks. Not a problem. And then just like I did before, I'm going to turn it and I'm going to send it back through. Now you can tell that we're not moving all over the place, and that's because I'm on top of my craft mat. And this craft mat happens to be one that is a non-slip on the bottom and a non-stick on the top. So my craft mat doesn't move. It's not adhesive on the back. It's got a silicone on the back, so it doesn't move, but then it's completely non-stick on the top. So you could put your glue gun down to it, you could heat emboss on top of it, whatever you want. Okay, so here we are. And now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull my words out. Actually, I'm going to pop my frame first. So I have popped off. There we go. So while this, I could get all my little words out and it would be exactly the same as the one we just did. I haven't popped all the words out, but it would be exactly the same. A beautiful background. It also, by leaving that frame all the way around, makes the most beautiful frame for your pictures, for your layouts, for your cards. Now you've got this center space to decorate yourself, to figure out what do you want to put there. Wait until you see the samples. Oh my gosh, the SMS girls did an amazing job. So now we've got it. Do you want it as a full background? It's going to drive me crazy having the words still in there. Do you want a full background? Where now you can lay your flowers on top. You can vintage it up. You can use the rest of the dies in this collection of the boats and the cars and the trees. You've got a beautiful start. Or do you just want it to frame? Up to you. And the words are still there. But we're not done. It will do one more thing. So now I'm going to take another piece of paper, get some of my words out, pop them out, and we will move on. It will do one more thing. It's not just a die. It's not just about getting the 2 cuts that I was able to get, although isn't it nice that you have options? Oh, it's not just about the 2 cuts that I was able to get. Now we're going to do it a 3rd time. And again, I'm just going to freehand my cuts. You guys are welcome to use your trimmer. This is an A2 size die, so it goes perfectly on an A2 size card. But because you can make the frame, you can also make it any size. I could have made the frame around any size I wanted to make it for larger cards. This time I'm going to bring my machine over and I'm going to get rid of my precision base plate. I'm going to put that to the side. And instead, I'm going to work with my squishy and my knock-knock. What's a squishy and a knock-knock? Well, this is a squishy for obvious reasons, and this is a knock-knock for the same obvious reasons. These used to be done in black by Sizzix. This is their silicone pad, this is their impression pad, and they used to be both black, and you couldn't tell them apart. Well, Ellis and Sizzix made them in colors now. We have gray for the squishy and white for the knock-knock, so when they're on your table, you're not looking at all tools that are black. You say, oh, there's my squishy, it's gray, and oh, there's my knock-knock, it's white. I'm going to emboss this die, and to do that, I'm going to need to open up my multi-purpose platform from tab 2 to tab 1. And it doesn't make a difference if you're using the small size or the large size. From tab 2 to tab 1. I'm going to put it right back down and then I'm going to build. So I'm going to put my cut plate down. I'm going to put my die. See those ridges? See, this is flat, 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 flat. See those ridges? Those ridges need to be face up. Still got some stuff in my die. Let's pop that little guy out right there. Come on, there we go. There we go. Okay, so ridges face up, paper against the die, and then your squishy, and then your knock-knock. Oh, and there are my tweezers. Then your knock-knock. So what I have got is my multi-purpose platform, my original size, open to tab 1, and if you're using the longer one, that's fine, just open it to tab 1. Then I have got my cut plate on top of my multi-purpose platform. Then I've got my die, ridges face up, so it can cut, or it's going to emboss. I've got my paper against my die. I've got my squishy, and I've got my knock-knock. Now, if you send this through and nothing happens, chances are your die was facing down the wrong way. You just need to flip your die around. Now, what's going to happen is as I send this through, that silicone pad, that squishy pad, is going to compress and it's going to force that paper into the negative spaces of the die. Ooh. Oh, Stacy, darn it. 1, It's going to force the squishy into the negative spaces of the die, forcing an embossing feature. Can you do this on a magnetic platform? No. It won't go through. It's too thick. It needs to be done with your multi-purpose platform. And the nice thing is, you know you're doing it right. As the roller is hitting that squishy, that silicone pad, it's being compressed in and it's making it larger. And you will slowly see that my squishy is coming out the back end. Now the creaks and cracks, don't worry. That's okay. It's a die and it's making an embossing, so don't worry. And it might even cut through just a little bit, but this is a brand new die. Once it wears down a little bit, it'll be just fine. But here you can see that it's pushing out. See, my squishy is getting longer and longer and longer. You want to see that squishy come out the back end. That's important. The squishy has to come out the back end. Somebody said they're going to make a t-shirt. Stacy says the squishy has to come out the back end. So what's happened is it's pushed that, it's compressed it down to force an embossing. And you can even see it from behind. Can you see that? Now, instead of die cutting, I have embossed my die. So you've got three options. You can emboss the die, and so this is like having your own embossing folder, but it's not just an embossing folder, because you could die cut it, or you could use it as a frame, all out of the same one die. So cute. So many options. Embossed, frame, die background. What makes your heart happy? That's all out of the one die for $15.99. And again, whatever you're creating, a background like this is universal, can be used again and again and again. And then when you take into consideration what the die actually says. So it is a memory for me, and that's how this collection came to be. Once I wrote what I wrote, once I sat down and wrote my memory, the rest of the collection just came pouring right out of me. It was just poured right out, and it was very fast and easy for me to do. So I want to move on, because I do want to show you, I've got lots of samples, but I do also want to show you the cute little cars, because they were a favorite with the SMS girls. No question about it. So, got cars, vintage vehicles, and you can do all of this. Wait till you see the storyboard. You can do all of this with the stamps and dies. And yes, they come with, you get 4 stamps, and you get 8 dies, so that you can add the detail that you want to use. And that's what we did here. We stamped and die cut the little car. And the car is meant to go through the redwood tree. You'll see I have a die that's a redwood tree with the opening. You know how they drive the cars through the big openings in those redwood trees? That's one of the dies too. It's so cute. So these were what I brought back. These were the memories that I brought back. So I'm going to show you how we do this really quick. And I'm going to show you that not only do you get the front of the car, but you get the side of the car. And there's a couple different ways to use this. And so that's very true to all of the stamps and dies in this collection. They're very much a build-a-scene type of feel, to where the stamps have all the detail, and then the dies allow you to add depth and dimension and height if you want to pop them up. But it really does, the feeling comes through on the stamps. The dies are the added bonus. So I've got my Memento ink pad here, and I have taken one of the stamps from the vintage vehicles, and I'm just going to stamp it. I'm on my gush pad. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, no chest compressions, up and down, quick and fast. You're not doing chest compressions. There's the side view of the car. Here is the front view of the car. Make sure I got that inked. Here's the front view of the car. Now, because I have the dies that coordinate with these, I can take them and die cut them right out. I'm going to bring my machine back over, and I'm not going to be using my squishy and my knock knock. And this time I have an option. I can either use my multi-purpose platform that comes with the machine, or I can use my magnetic platform that does not come with the machine, sold separately. Why would I want a magnetic platform? Well, I've got my magnetic platform down, I've got my cut plate, I've got my paper that has my stamped images on it, I've got the dies that are going to cut out those stamped images. And looky there. Because it's magnetic, I can line my dies right up around my stamps and they don't move. I'm going to take my do not cut plate, put it right on top, send it on through. Because these are frame dies, they're not intricate. I only have to send it through once. It doesn't have to go forward and backwards. Yes, these will go through a cuttle bug. Yes, these will go through a grand caliber. Yes, absolutely. And my little cars. My little cars cut right out. So cute. But what if you don't like the white all the way around it? Okay, well, we have options. Of course we do. This is simply defined. So we also have the little car die. Now I could take my little car die and, let's cut it out of a green. Take my little car die. And again, it's not an intricate die. This is a very easy die to cut, so it doesn't require a precision base plate. I'm gonna bring it on over, and you know what? We're gonna cut a background out too, just at the same time, just so you can see the two. So I think I'll do the background out of brown, just so you can see. So I'm gonna grab this guy. So I'm gonna cut the actual car die out of the green, and I'm gonna cut the frame of the car die, the shadow die, out of brown. I'm going to cut them both at the exact same time because they're both wafer dies. I could do it on my multi-purpose platform or on my magnetic platform. It's up to you. The multi-purpose platform comes with the machine. The magnetic does not. I'm just going to send it through. It's really just a one roll. You don't have to roll it back. Comes right out. I'm going to put those back up there for now. So I've got my two die cuts. And I could do that. But you say, Stacy, that doesn't detail out the car very much. I understand. You're going to grab your stamp. That comes with the set. You're going to put your car down there. And this is what I mean by it's really a stamp dependent collection. Those stamps are what add the detail and the dimension to your image. It's nice to have the dies because then you can pop them up and you can manipulate them that way by getting the height that you couldn't do. You don't want to fussy cut them. But it's the stamps that really make the difference. And I'm just going to eyeball this as best as possible. push. And now I've added the detail to the car. And if I wanted to, I could back it. But you don't have to back it. You could have it that way, or you could just have it that way, or you could have it that way. And if I was going to do it that way, I would come in and I would color part of it. You could get in there with any color marker, and these are Tim Holtz Distress markers. You could get in there with your Copics, you could get there with your watercolors, you could get in there with anything, and just start to add a little bit of color. So it's up to you how you want to do it. And this is how the entire collection is. All the sets are meant to work together. The cars are meant to work with the cabin, and the cabin is meant to work with the boat, and the boat is meant to work with the covered bridge, and the covered bridge can be put next to the redwood tree, and they all can be framed in by the background, the tree backgrounds, which can be laying on top of the contour die. It's all about building that scene, and sometimes you don't need to use the dies at all. You may just want to use the stamps, and when you see the samples, you'll understand what I mean. On the boat, it was so important to me when I did the boat that I include the mirror image. So if you stamp this, and you stamp this on blue, you just have a sheet of blue for water, but you stamp this image there, you've got the mirror image making it look like it is on water, like it's the reflection off the top of the glassy lake that you're on. Same with the trees. It was important that you had the stamp, that you could stamp if you had it on water. So it's the reflection of the trees off of a serene lake. Oh my gosh, that's what comes to me. That's what I felt. It's about being able to take the images and build from them and mix them and match them, so that if you have the collection, you have got so much to offer. You can do so many different things. You can take bits and pieces from each set and coordinate them together to make your own memory, to reach back and or maybe it's what's outside your backyard right now. You're looking right outside your backyard and this is what you see. Boy, are you lucky. We only dream. Michael and I dream to one day be able to retire and have this to look at. But for now, I have my memories of Big Basin with my father-in-law, who unfortunately wasn't there to see us get married. But he was there. He just wasn't there physically, but I know he was there. So I want to show you the storyboards, and then I want to show you all the things that the SMS girls have done, because it truly is amazing how far they took the dies. They're able to take them and just do absolutely gorgeous things with them. So I want to start with the storyboards. And this is Rustic Cabin, and you get the background, the shadow of the cabin, and you get the detail die of the cabin, and this is the shadow and the detail die together. And then you get little bits and pieces. This would be the dock. See, there's a dock right there. Yeah, dock. You walk out on the dock, right? And then you've got little bits that can be used as water, and you've got the little pine trees to add to them. So that if all you buy in this, if this is the only one you buy, this one's $13.99 unless you buy it in the I Want It All. But if this is the only set you get, you can create scene after scene after scene. You can change it up, you can vary it, you can die cut it, you can layer it, you can just stamp it. All of this in one package will give you a beautiful way to make some of the most gorgeous cards and great for guys, but it doesn't have to be for guys. And look at the details on the stamps. So there it is. This one's just stamped. This one is stamped and cut out with this die. This one is stamped and cut out with this die. And then this one is stamped. She's popped it and she's got the background. She's got both dies. So this is Rustic Cabin, and Elena has put all of these storyboards together. Next we have Vintage Vehicles, and again the collection is called The Wind in the Woods. Okay, so you can do all of this. All of this. How cute are those? All of this out of one set. Again, $13.99 unless you buy the I Want It All, and then it's only $10. And yes, that's for the stamps and the dies. Honest. All of that in one set. Crazy, I know, right? Then we have the trees. This is a background die. So here's the trees. Look at what she did here. She made the gatefold out of the trees. Oh, she's so smart. And see this empty space? This empty space, I was paying for that metal. I'm paying for this whole sheet of metal to make this die. So I added another tree in there because I didn't want to use, there can be no metal that gets unused. No, what was it? No wine before it's time? No metal to be unused. If there's space, I'm gonna fit something in there because I'm paying for it and you deserve to get the very most you can for your money. That one was called Through the Trees. Then we have the Covered Bridge, which is one of my favorites. And again, you've got the shadow die, you've got the decor die, then you've got all of these bits and pieces that help make up. Here's the water, there's the water. Here's the Covered Bridge just stamped. Here it is stamped on the shadow, and here it is directly onto the decor die, stamped right there. But then look at the scene it can build. And like I said, you get the little green sprouts. The little green sprouts, you get the water. All of the fence comes with it. The fence even has a die. And the little die stamps to make the road or the woods. All in one set. And this is Covered Bridge from The Wind in the Woods. And then we have the boat. And again, all the dies, all the stamps. I love the fact that you can do the shadow, you can do the mirror image. Wait till you see the samples on this. It's magnificent. You can die cut the boat, you can die cut and stamp the boat, you can layer the boat, you've got the trees, you've got the water, all in the one set. Love, 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 love the boat. And then we have redwoods. And for anybody who's ever been in the redwoods, they always have the redwood that's been hollowed out and you can drive your car through it. Well, yes, you can drive your car because our cars fit. My cars were meant to fit through the redwood. And so you get the redwood and you get the stamp so you can make the whole tree. And then you've got the sign and it comes with all sorts of little words. Route 66, gone fishing, gosh, hello, camping, that you can stamp onto your little sign. It's just darling. You've got the little sprouts, the little foliage to go around it. You've got the little, what can be either part of a road, you can lay it out so it's part of a road or a dirt surround. Really cute. And then last but not least, you have the contour, which is what we started with. It is not part of the I Want It All collection. It is $15.99. It is sold separately. And while I've never seen one before, so I can't be for sure that there's not one out there, I know that there's embossing folders and I know that there's stamps. This lets you die cut. See, look at how wide that border is. You could make that border as wide as you want it. You can die cut 2 different ways and you can use it as an embossing. All out of one die. which will give you backgrounds for so many different things. Okay, I want to start with the samples because the samples are absolutely stunning. I'm going to start with Sharon. And here Sharon's used part of the tree. She's got the cabin in there. She's got the boat. Here Sharon has used, again, part of the tree. She's got the contour die in there. And then here she used the opposite of the contour die. So here you've got the frame that I showed you, the background versus the frame. And she filled that frame, that empty space in with the covered bridge and the trees. How pretty is that? This is Sharon. Next we have Michelle. And Michelle used vintage vehicle. Look at, she even popped out the wheel. Vintage vehicle on her card here, which is absolutely darling. What a great guy card. A little bit of the gears there. This is Michelle. And this is Michelle, and she did a whole scene, whole background. This one is die cut and colored. This is all stamped. All of that is stamped. But then she put the little vehicle, and it's on the penny. Have you seen that where you cut the oval? Oh, I don't know what that was. You cut the oval, and then you put the die cut on the penny with a pop dot, and then it will slide. It will slide on down. This is Michelle. And she's done her little slider card. So cute. Then we have Yvette. And here's Yvette, where she's used the trees. Everything on this card came from the set. She didn't use any other stamps. She didn't use any other dies. The water, the foliage, the trees, the boat, all the background, all of it came from this set. And this is Yvette. And it's just lovely. They all are so lovely. And here she used the redwood. And remember I told you, the cars go through it. Sure does. This is Yvette. And it's using the redwood. It's using the tree that comes with the background of the trees. She's got the little stamp. She's got the car on there. She's done all this with the stamps that come with the set to add that definition and that depth and that detail into the dirt road. That's Yvette. Then we have Claire. And Claire has done a sidestep card. So a sidestep card, she just laid it out and scored it. And then she used the trees that come with the background of the tree, the whole frame of the tree. She's done the cabin in the front. She's done all the foliage. She's got the trees here. This is Claire and her sidestep card. Then from Claire, we also have her cabin. Again, all this is stamped. The entire card is stamped. There was no dies used at all on that card. The entire card was stamped. And this one was watercolored. She's got a panel of 3. So this one, again, all stamped and watercolored. It's a beautiful card. No dies at all, just stamped and watercolored. Then she's got the boat. Now the boat is done with the die. The rest of it is stamped and watercolored. The little dock. Beautiful. And then her third one was with the covered bridge. So she did the 3. What a lovely set to give somebody. Oh my gosh, they're gorgeous. The colors are just absolutely magnificent. And then we have The Wind in the Woods. And we've got her. Her little mini album of the trip. So this was all the road trip, a little mini album of a road trip. Isn't that so pretty? Again, all done with this set. Look at how cute is that? And this is road trip. There we go. Wind in the Woods. This is Claire. Then we have, let's grab Kathy. Oh, Claire also. Oh, this one's kind of hard. Claire did the ship in a bottle because it fits. She could open it up and she could actually get it all in there just as a solid piece. And then she put the trees. Oh, wait a minute. I think I've got it backwards. There we go. She's got the trees. What a clever little gift. How clever is that? A couple blocks of wood, and she was able to just put that whole piece of paper right into the bottle because it fit. So that's Claire. Put that one on Facebook. It was really cute. Okay, Kathy. Kathy used the contour die. There it is just the background, the frame, where you don't have the words all the way across. You just have words coming in. And she used a piece of wood, balsa wood, as her background. This is Kathy. And then we also have Kathy here. It says, thank you for visiting. And then you open it up. Isn't that cute? So thank you for visiting. And then you open it up and there's your pop-up scene. This is Kathy. And then this one is just as simple as can be. She just took and embossed the boat with the oars. How simple is that? It's just elegant. It's perfect. It doesn't have to be over the top. It can just be a lovely piece of paper and a simple embossing. This is Kathy. And last but not least is her layout. And this is when, oh, this is, look, she's got her redwood trees in there. This is Kathy. Okay, next we have Belinda. And you gotta go with me on this one. Okay, so I want you to pay attention to this one right here. See that right there? Okay, Belinda, she took my tree and she made a boogeyman out of it, a scary monster. There's the tree and there's the tree. She took it, cut it twice, and she's made a Halloween tag. This is Belinda. When she saw it, that's where she said, oh, I see a little man holding his arms up. This is Belinda. And then here is her other tag. And again, she took and she embossed the contour die in the back and she's inked it, and oh my gosh, and all the beautiful shimmer. And this is Belinda. Next I have Elena, and Elena who does her luminaries. Oh, do I even try to get in there? She does her luminaries that has, look at that. Is that gorgeous? She's got it all the way around, and then she's got the little cars right in the center. And I don't know if I can get in there. Oh yeah, I got in there. But whether, oh, there we go. That wasn't too bad. How cute. And she found this at the garage sale or at the flea market. And she's used Vintage Glam to put the winter trees. That is Elena. Elena also took an old-fashioned, I don't know if this is this checkerboard. And when you open it up, that's Elena. All right, last but not least is Doris. There is Doris, taking it to the level that is just absolutely magnificent. She's painted, she's actually, that's all stamped. That's all using the stamps, all using the tree dye, the background through the trees, the cars. This is Doris, and it's stunning. We also have from Doris, and again, this is all done, this one's done all with stamps. With all the stamps that come in the set. This is Doris. Then we have, again, Doris, and again, just stamps. There's Doris. All that is the stamped images. You can see the reflection, you've got the boat, you've got the trees in the background. She did an amazing job using just the stamps that come in the set. This is Doris. And last but not least is her layout. That has tags and pockets. It's got the cabin, it's got the trees, it's got the contour die, both ways. Framing out the house here, it's just beautiful. This is Doris. All right, so I really can't get over, we were all just in awe of these two. Well, actually of all of them, but absolutely magnificent. So I am going to try to tilt on up, and I'm gonna say, oh, it's 11:30. Where are you gonna find all of this great product? You're going to find it at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Please remember that the Simply Defined and Simply Refined lines are exclusive to us. So if you love them, get them.